What is going on, everyone? It's Tate with Spectacular Gadgets. And in this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the LG G8X ThinQ. Let's do this! All right, let's go ahead and jump into this with the LG V60 right around the corner to be released. I thought it's a good time to give people options if they don't already know about the LG G8X ThinQ. Now, before I purchased the G8X, I was actually looking at the Samsung Galaxy Fold. And if you don't know, the Fold holds a $2,000 price tag, whereas when I was purchasing the LG G8X, I purchased it for $700. Currently, you can pick it up off of Amazon brand new for $600 to $650. And if you're not into that, you can also check Swappa. So the next topic I want to talk about is the marketing feature. And the marketing feature for this device is what? The dual display. Now, I don't consider this device a foldable phone only because the screen doesn't fold. Whereas just the case closes and opens, giving you, the dual display. This is a productivity beast. And then that leads us into the next topic, which is productivity. The dual displays gives for productive days, and that's from experience, you guys. Let me give you a few examples. First example is, let's say you're looking at a spreadsheet and there's some information from a Word document that you may need. You can have the Excel spreadsheet open as well as the Word document, and the screens work independently from each other, so you won't have any issues. This is true multitasking. And wait, I know what you're gonna say. Samsung devices have been doing this for quite some time, and yes, you're correct. Samsung is pretty good at multitasking, but the difference is you're multitasking on a single screen, which the screen will be split, compared to being able to use the full canvas of both displays, making viewing content or viewing information and data very comfortably compared to just splitting the screen. Another example is this display is excellent for comparing products. Let's say you're looking to buy a car or you're looking to buy an appliance, being able to view it easily. This is the device that can help you do that. This device screams productivity and efficiency, and it works very well. Next up is the camera. The cameras on this device are awesome. I really like the cameras on the G8, and these don't slack either. The photos and the videos that you will get out of this camera, you won't be upset. With decent lighting conditions, you'll even have better pictures. I actually did a little comparison between the Mate 30 Pro, this device, and the Samsung A71. So this G8X came in a solid second. It did not beat the Mate 30 Pro, but still the picture of night view looked pretty darn detailed. It almost looked like it was daytime. Also, the native camera app features a lot of options and modes that you can choose from. You have manual mode. Now that's a plus. You do have manual mode, so you can adjust the settings as needed. You have portrait, you have photo, slow-mo, flash jump cut, and then you do have an option to hit more, and then hitting more will give you YouTube Live. You have send shot, you have food mode, send video mode, and then you have AR stickers to add a little fun to your videos or photos. So there's a lot that you can do within the camera app itself, and these cameras are no slouch. The next topic that I want to talk about is the fingerprint sensor. Now this device unfortunately does not have face unlock, so you have the option to use the in-display fingerprint sensor, the PIN, pattern, or password. I choose to use the fingerprint sensor, and I've had no issues. I go ahead and put my finger on, the device unlocks and opens every single time. Now, is it the fastest? No way it's not the fastest. It is pretty slow, but it unlocks my device every single time. Next topic I want to talk about, which is probably very important, and it was something that I was kind of concerned about before I purchased it, is the battery. Now, the battery in this device is good. Mind you, you are powering two 1080p displays. And this is the reason why this doesn't go up any higher than 1080, because you want to preserve the battery life. And the 1080 screens are not bad They're nice still to look at. Unplugging this device off the charger from 100%, I don't see much decrease in the battery percentage like I do see on the Note 10 Plus. Mind you, I have the Note 10 Plus with Ultra HD and the highest settings it can go, because I feel like if a device has it, go for it. You spent the money, so go ahead and put it to the highest settings it can go. The screen on time is decent. The standby time is pretty awesome. You can get through a whole day on the battery, so I don't have it on battery save or anything like that, and I can get through many of my days just fine, and I don't have to go searching for a charger. Next category is the build. Now, the device without the case is a solid build. It's glass if you're into that, but the flush cameras make it awesome. I'm welcoming the flush camera back. The flushness of the cameras I always like. It seems much more stable when on a surface. This device is also dust proof and water resistant, and with the case on, it does add a little thickness to the feel as well as heft to it, so it is a little heavier with the case on, but not by too much. Now you're thinking the fatigue of holding it, let's say if you're watching a YouTube video or you're reading something, that's where I love the case. The design of the case just makes it really comfortable to just sit somewhere and not have to hold it and get that fatigue. So the next thing is other features. So if you've been watching me and if you're subscribed to me, you know, I'm a huge fan of what? The headphone jack. So this device features a headphone jack, and I love to listen to wired headphones, so this is just right up my alley. But not only does this device feature a headphone jack, it does have the option to have hi-fi quad DAC enabled. You can toggle it on to make your music listening experience just so awesome. It goes to the next level with the quad DAC. It just makes the listening experience much more fuller, sounds better. You can hear everything, high, mids, lows, and everything. It just sounds better with it on. So that's why everybody makes such a big deal about it. There is a difference if you just test it out if you want to. The next thing in features is this can wirelessly charge without taking the phone out of the case. It can charge right through the case. If you're not into wireless charging, that's cool too. They include a little attachment. It magnetically attaches right here on the bottom, and then from there you plug in your cable to the bottom of that attachment, and you can charge the phone without taking it out of the case if you don't want to. This phone does have the ability to have expandable storage, so if you run out of the internal, you can go ahead and pick up a micro SD card and expand your storage. So next thing I'm going to talk about as far as other features is customizable gamepads. This is a game changer. So I did a video on that, so go ahead and check that out. This is great because you can still have a nice view of the gameplay without your hands in the way, because now you can use this bottom screen as your gamepad. Last thing in the other features category is if you're thinking of switching from a Samsung, and we all know that Samsung has features upon features upon features, you're never gonna really get bored with the Samsung. But if you're thinking about needing something different, or if these dual screens make you feel a certain way, you won't really have a problem jumping ship, because LG has just as many features, if not more, because depending on what Samsung device you have the headphone jack. Yeah, you still have the headphone jack and the quad DAC. So you're possibly gaining some features back by switching over. Now, nothing in this world is perfect, and we all know that. Do you know that? I know that. So there is some things that I would like to see improved with this device, and there are 3 things on my list. First thing up is speakers. The speakers on this, they're not great. Even if you take it out of the case, they just don't sound as good as, let's say, the speakers on the Note 10 Plus. It just sounds kind of tinny, if you know what I mean. And that's something that I think they really need to work on. I think that's something that really needs to be worked on. They're not terrible, but they're just not great. The next improvement is maybe for the next one, it won't be on the V60, but for the next one, if they do decide to do a dual screen, I would say use more of this screen. You have all of this not being used. You just get this rectangle right here that gives you the time and your notifications. But if you think about it, look at the Galaxy Fold. They do manage to use most of that screen real estate when the device is folded. So I would like to see maybe them give us a little bit more, if not the whole screen. And I could possibly see why they would not, because they're trying to preserve the battery. But I would like to kind of see a little bit more screen being used. The last thing is simple marketing. I would like to see marketing improved. Let me give you an example why. I went to go look for the Galaxy Fold like a week ago, and I went to 3 different Best Buys in my area. And I had this phone in my hand, and then when I went to go show them some information, I opened up the phone like this because, like I said, I just love these dual screens. They were all in like shock. They were all amazed. The reactions on all of their faces in all three locations was like exactly the same. But the thing is, no one knew about the phone. They didn't know who made it. They didn't know much about the phone, and their reactions told me like they're very interested, but they knew nothing about the phone. LG makes some really good products, but what does it matter if you're not marketing it correctly? So those are my list of improvements. So that just about wraps it up for this video. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to chill with me while we go through this journey. And until next time, everyone, I want you all to have a spectacular day. Later.